So guess what? Let me tell you. Someone gets very, very excited when they see you. Okay? I heard they get giddy. They get giddy? They get giddy. That sounds funny together. They get giddy. But you make someone feel excited like that. Like, ooh, my baby coming. Ooh. That's how you make somebody feel. Ooh, I think I need to charge this. It looks like a little taser. Ooh, you see that? But it's not. It's a lighter. And it sounds like a taser, too. Does anybody have a taser? Just in case you need to... Let me chill on that. Okay, so... Let me get back to the message. But, somebody gets very, 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 very excited when they see you. You make them happy. You make them smile from ear to ear. It's the joy you bring. You bring joy to this person's day. I don't know who this is. It could be whoever you feel it is. You know? Because it could be anyone. But there's a certain part of this message that is a bit frisky, okay? And you know, I'm gonna keep it as simple as possible and give you all I got, okay? Give you all that comes to me. But there is involuntary activity that this person can't help. You know, they just can't help it. They just can't help it. They can't help it. And it's okay. It's fine. That's natural. It's nature. I heard it's nature's best. Yes. It's nature's best. Because how else are we going to get here? You have to talk about nature in all spaces. We still have to talk about nature. I think sometimes certain aspects of nature can be uncomfortable for many, but there's nothing to be uncomfortable about because we all have these things that we do and these feelings that we have. And yes, we must learn how to conduct them. We must maintain, we must control, we must be responsible when it comes to the type of nature that consists of, I heard the bumps in the night. But this person sees you and they get very excited. When it comes to the frisky side, you see I have to put the shoulders in it when I say the frisky side, because this message has a frisky side to it. Okay? I feel like you make many other people happy when they see you, which that's the other side of this message, because it could be like, you know, platonic relationships. But this message is really about the friskies. And you have a tendency to bring the friskies out of people. Okay? But for you specifically, I mean, because it does come from, the friskies are sent to you from many people. Okay? However, there's one particular one. There's one particular that is special to you. There's one particular one that has somewhat of a purpose in your life and you as well to them, right? I can't say somewhat of, because it is. Okay? This is a fact. It's factual. Okay? So what I'm picking up is this energy of someone who, this person has a rush of feelings that just comes over them when they see you. And they don't think too hard about it anymore. Maybe they did at one point, but now they don't. They allow their feelings to flow. And I don't know if you allowed them, or not allowed them, but helped them to feel comfortable with these feelings, I don't know if you like help them, because that's what it kind of feels like that, maybe somehow, I don't know. For some of you, you may have spoken to them to make them know that it's okay, like, you know, to not feel like you feel repulsed by it, not to feel as though you might feel like an object or something like that, because, and it's just for the, okay, let me put it like this, if you did not like the person, then you wouldn't like it. But being that you actually like them, it's okay. Just like, okay, for example, and this is for a feminine energy or a masculine energy. If someone comes up to you and they want to talk to you, if you receive a good impression and you're actually physically attracted to them, the probability of you responding in such a way to connect with the person, it's higher, it's increased. Excuse me, I just sneezed. Woo! I don't know why I'm sneezing. That's different. I haven't sneezed in a while. Why did I sneeze now? But anyway, so if you, my point is, when you are attracted to someone and you feel a certain energy from them, you're more receptive. There's a higher probability that you would say, yeah, we could talk. Or now, if there's someone that approaches you and you are not attracted for whatever reason, or you're just not interested, whatever they do towards you, you're not gonna like it because you don't like them like that. You're not seeing them that way. So let me put it like this. Someone that you're attracted to can do something you can think is adorable. But if someone does the same thing, you're gonna think is repulsive. Like, ew, back up. Right? And that's just, it might sound mean, but it's, hey, we know how we can feel at times. It's just the truth. Yeah. So I'm getting here that maybe you saw someone do something, like they were talking to you and their eyes dropped, and then you said, oh, what you looking for? You trying to pick something up for me? What you looking for? You trying to pick something up for me? I just heard, yeah, you. Ooh. Hey now. Yeah, but you may have, I don't know if this person is like, has a bold energy, or if they're kind of timid, or if they're very respectful. They could be all of that at one time, really, sometimes. And maybe this person didn't want you to see them drop the eyes. Maybe you caught it, you wasn't supposed to. And then you was like, hey, I seen you, I saw that. But maybe you didn't say anything, you just peeped it, and you was like, oh, okay. But that's a natural thing. You know, I think it's natural. Especially when you're attracted to someone, hey, you know, it's all right. We're human. As long as it's not like somebody like overdoing it and like doing too much. But I don't feel that from this person. I just feel as though, you know, the first attraction that we have to someone is what we see. Our eyes speak. Now, there's more to that though, because that just gets a person, I heard, in the invisible door. Let me put it like that. Like it's not a real door. It's just an invisible door of someone getting a bit close, a certain measure of closeness. But the way that they actually stick around is through how the person makes you feel. Like, how do they make you feel? Because, you know, many people could get into relationships, right? And they look good to you. And you look good to them, right? That's just breaking through the invisible door. That's just one phase. And that phase is very impermanent. It's very temporary, okay? Because after someone opens their mouth, that's the next phase. When you hear someone speak, what they're talking about, you know, what's important to them, like who they are, like, you know, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? And when you find out who they are, it's either they're gonna qualify or they're not gonna qualify. You know? This is just the honest truth of the phases in like a relationship or a situation, a connection, whatever it is. Because if you see something, but sometimes there's some people that will continue on just to get the goods, even if they don't even like you like that. But they might like your physical appearance, you see. So it's important to know the difference between the two, I think. Especially if you're someone who's serious about the relationship or serious about what you want in a relationship. You have to be honest with yourself, because it's just something that's important to think about. Many people are going to be interested in you, but that doesn't mean, how can I put this? Many people are going to be interested in you, but it doesn't mean that everyone qualifies. It just doesn't mean that. And many of the people you could be very attracted to, but that still doesn't mean that they qualify. I think a lot of times people get caught up in the physical, and someone can look so wonderfully delectable to them, and then they forget about everything else that's very important, actually. More important than that. And they keep going, and they keep going, and they keep flowing. And then something happens and it gets quite serious. Like, you know, something can happen, like, oh, let me see. Oh, somebody can get pregnant. There we go. That's one. That's a big thing. And what's another one? Oh, you took it to a place and then you don't know what, like, where you stand with the person. You done went all the way. The home run has been hit. And then some people ask after that, like, okay, so what are we doing? What is this? Are we together? Like, wait a minute. I never told you I wanted to be in a relationship. It doesn't matter who says it, the masculine energy or the feminine energy. But that, see, like, is that what you want? Is that, I don't know. If that's what you want, okay, to each his own. But if that's not what you want, this is the reason why the phases are so important. Paying attention to the phase, paying attention to the phases. And then it's important to connect to people on various levels, not just one. If you just connect with a person only on the first phase, which is the looks of the person and the physical attraction, there's a high probability that relationship is not going to last. I have to blink a lot with this one. You see my lips? So make sure that you think about these things, because I don't want to see y'all sad and crying. I don't want to see y'all crying and so sad. Y'all make me sad when y'all sad, you know? We know what it feels like to get our heart broke up. We're in the journey right now and forevermore of healing the heart, not breaking it. If you can prevent heartbreak, do that. And you can. It's not even if. You can prevent heartbreak for yourself when you take ownership and you start cruising. You gotta cruise. Don't you have your driver's license for love? You know about love, so use your driver's license responsibly. I heard no drinking and driving. What's being drunk off of love? Drunk off of the idea of love? Oh, it's an idea. It's not actual love sometimes. Sometimes it's just the idea of love. So you get with somebody, you feel a little bit of something, a little chemistry that might be fake, but you feel a little bit of something and you're like, oh, we in love. That's my woman. That's my man. And that ain't even what happened. And then it gets confusing because nobody said anything. You know how many people I know that go through this right here? That nobody said anything. And then something crazy happens and then they hate each other. They didn't even know that they hated each other yet because they just loved what they saw. And then the person that they thought that they loved, but they really lusted for only, they trying to, just like, what's that? Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Did you ever watch that movie? That's what they turn into, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, trying to destroy one another on a daily basis. Is that what you want? I don't know. I can't answer this for you. I'm just asking so you can think about it. Is that what you want? Or are you willing to be patient with yourself and willing to hear someone and who they are? Like, you know? And don't you want to be heard? Don't you want somebody to know who you are before, you know, it? Because I feel like a lot of you actually wouldn't mind connecting on a certain level. I feel like a lot of you wouldn't mind that. I feel like it would be cool. But I feel like there's like static in between relationships when it comes to a man and a woman. There could be so much static, or not even just a man and woman, but I'm just going to say masculine and feminine energy. There's so much static. And I think a lot of it has to do with what the media, like what's imposed on us, what we believe to be a goal for a relationship. Like, you ever seen those pictures and it'll be just one flick and you'll see something cute and people will put under it goals? That's not enough to say that that's your goal just from seeing 1 second of someone's relationship. That's not enough. And I feel like it's time to go deeper than that when it comes to a relationship, because there has to be a connection on many planes with a person for it to work, because otherwise it won't work. It will fall apart just as fast as it started, and it be starting real fast. It starts very fast oftentimes, okay? Real fast. Go from 0 to 100 real quick. Y'all know what I said. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I think Spirit wants to just talk about this because it's something that is troubling in the world. It's a trouble. And it's a trouble that keeps happening over and over again. Spirit doesn't want you to have this type of trouble anymore. Like, you know, now it's time to like start vetting out people. Watch them. What they doing? What they talking about? Look at them. What they doing? If you like a person, look at them. You know, don't just like, but I'm talking about like deeper than just the surface. What do you see? Do you like what you see? Is there anything you don't like? Anything? I mean, it's wonderful if there's nothing that's wrong. That's nice. And then like the asking the right questions, like, you know, to the person, like really talk. Like, I don't know what people be talking about. Like, because I notice like with certain family members, they'll or just friends and just people I know, they could be the most bold person, right? But when it comes to relationships, man, I don't know what happens to the boldness. It be gone. I don't know what happened. Like, I was just talking to one of my friends, my good friend. And I'm not going to go deep into the whole, because it's a whole long story. We was on the phone for hours. But she's so bold. You know? She's so no nonsense. But when she gets into relationships, she's so like submissive, and I think that's beautiful, but you got to do that with the right one, not the crispy critters, you know? And I told her, I was like, you so bold, and you be talking, like, you be saying what you got to say, but when it comes to that, she just goes like a little rose petal, like, ooh, it's okay, I won't ask no questions. It's just like, and that's beautiful, because that is being in touch with your femininity. And that is a beautiful thing, because we're beautiful, us women. Men, y'all beautiful too, but in your own way, your own hard, rough, way, right? Yeah. But women, we're roses. We're just la-di-da-di-da. That's us. Well, not all of us sometimes, but I just wanted to remind her that you could still be that. But it's almost like the desire to love, sometimes it takes us so far away that we make excuses for love because we want it. We make excuses, but what we're making excuses for, that's when we want a certain situation to be love and it's not. Because when a relationship is love, when there's love actually there's no excuses that need to be really made for it, because you feel like it's love. It feels like love. And you know when it feels like love. But I think when people desire it so much, which we should, I'm not saying we shouldn't, but when you have the desire, but then you're not using your logic as well, and you just use your heart, that's when your heart can, like, it's almost like Spirit is giving me this message, like, you are a logical person. You do use your mind. You use the left side of your brain, like you do. But when it comes to love, something happens. Your wires cross a little bit, and you start using your heart. Why did I say using like that? It came out all crazy. When you start using, or when you start really feeling somebody, your heart, it's like it takes over. And I think that's a great thing, but at the same time, it could be dangerous with certain people. And this is something I had to learn too, because I'm just a lover. I'm just a lover. That's who I am. I'm a lover. I had to learn how to be a fighter, but I'm a lover first. And when you don't learn to use both sides of your brain, when you're not balanced and you're not wielding both energies simultaneously, it's easy to lose yourself in a desire to want to love. Oh, it's so easy. It's so easy. And you just be like, giving so many passes. Oh my goodness. I heard the teacher's gonna be like, you just had another pass, you're not going. No, you're not going. Isn't that crazy how sometimes back in the day when we was in school, the teacher tried to tell you can't go to the bathroom? My parents always told me don't listen to them, because how you gonna tell me when I go to the bathroom? But they would tell me, make sure you have to go to the bathroom. Don't be just trying to be leaving. Even though I was kind of bad, I did cut class, okay? I'm just going to be honest. Me and my friend used to go cut class and go get ices at the store. But that teacher, we didn't understand him. We didn't know what he was saying anyway. We didn't know what he was saying. His accent was too strong, and he was trying to teach us math. I ain't learned nothing in that class, okay? I don't know how I passed it, because I didn't know what he was saying. I'm going to be honest. I didn't know what that man was saying. It was funny. We would just be laughing. And then we left. So I was being a little bad. But I never got in trouble for it, though. I told my parents I didn't know what he was saying. They thought it was funny. I don't know. But I did not know. I was serious. side note. But anyway, memories. So balance. It's about being balanced. I feel like this message is about being balanced in love, so you don't get your heart broken or hurt again. So you don't get hurt. You know, sometimes we could like someone so much and want, or you can fantasize about having a whole life with them, to the point where you start to forget about what it is that you're actually looking for in a person. Like, what it is that you truly want. What is it that you truly want? And what is it that you need? If you could just mend and melt those two things together for you, and get to know what the other person is looking for to make sure it's right, and then talk about it, that's like really good to do. So Spirit just wants you to talk more and communicate more, you know, before you get your heart broken again. Because a lot of people are attracted to you, but that doesn't mean that all of them are right. And a lot of people are attractive to you. So you can be attracted to the people that are attracted to you. Some of them, of course, you're not going to be attracted to them, because that's just how it is as well. But right now, I feel like you are highly attractive, okay? Because you have done work on yourself. And when you could tell when someone does a lot of work on themselves, because their spirit is free. You see who they are. You see them. It's easier to see them because you know they're being real. You know that they're not like trying to put some frosting on top of like I heard of a dirty muffin. Not a dirty muffin. Like, what? Okay, let's say a moldy cupcake. They're trying to put icing on a moldy cupcake. And then they try to present their moldy cupcake to you to make it look good, but there's some mold in it, and they ain't even look at it. They didn't even like pay attention to it to say, let me throw this cupcake out and make another one. Let me fix my problems. Let me dive into me and fix what I have going on first before I go try to be in a relationship. And I feel like that's another thing. If you know that you broke up and you need to work on yourself, please don't go trying to be in a relationship, because you're not ready. And if you're not ready, the relationship is over before it started, because it's highly probable that when you get in that relationship, you're going to be taking out what the last people did on the new person. I almost said on the new people. I mean, it could be the new people if you're like dating and speaking to multiple people, but it's really the new person. I'm going to keep it singular to make it easier to understand, okay? And we don't want that. And that's not me trying to dig at you. It's just the truth. Because when you're hurt from a past relationship, all of that stagnant energy of pain is going to boil over into the new thing. And that's not healthy. Where can you actually go with that? Because you're still going to have anger within you, and it's going to show. Spirit doesn't want that. Spirit wants love to be out here. There's not enough love and there's too much hate. And it's time for us to mend. It's time for us to pay attention to what's causing that problem and fix it. And it's really the moving too fast and not getting to get into each other's mind. I feel like, not unless you're the type to not care about that, but if you're someone who truly cares and you actually want to be in a relationship that's going to last, and you're tired of the revolving doors, get into their mind, talk to them, see how do you really feel about what they believe, what do you don't know. The communication is lacking, and that's the problem. Spirit said communicate. And if you don't know what to say, if you need to write it down, you're gonna come there looking like a teacher with some glasses like me, and with a little notepad. Like, I have questions for you. Okay, I just wrote them down so I don't forget, you know. So, okay, There's nothing, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. They might think you look crazy. Somebody that's not open is not going to like that, but someone who is, I feel like someone who is worth your while would actually appreciate it to a certain extent. It depends on the person, because some people might think that's too much. But if you come to an understanding that the two of you are interested in each other in such a way, they will respect it. But if someone thinks that's too much, then I feel like that's already showing you that they're not really trying to be serious with you. Like, again, some of you are like, what? That's a lot. What the hell? That's crazy. But hey, at least you do your due diligence, and then you don't have to be the one with the broken heart, right? Get it. Hey, be creative. If you don't want to do that, put the notes in your phone. I don't know. Do what you want. Just talk and say something that's purposeful, that makes sense. And stop being afraid to say what you want to say. I mean, as long as you're not disrespectful, or as long as you're not getting too deep too early. And sometimes it depends on the person, I think. It depends on the flow of the conversation. It depends on the person. It depends on the vibe. It depends on the auric field and how they bouncing off each other. Like, it depends on a lot. But it's best to say the things that are most important to you in the beginning, so there's no confusion. Yeah. Then, you'll know. Isn't it better to know than to not know and feel confused and lost? That's causing too many problems in the world. People be so broken, and it's just not healthy for us. We have to change those ways. Those ways are not getting us anywhere. They're just making so many people worse, and there's so many people living lives of misery because of this. This one thing alone, it causes misery for so many people. It's so hard to snap back from a bad relationship. And I don't feel like, I don't know. I mean, I don't really be watching those podcasts and stuff where they talk about relationships and stuff like that. But I know what it's like myself. And I know that sometimes people talk about, like, dealing with a narcissist. I've watched those before. I showed you one of those videos before I put it on here. But I think I may have deleted it. But I just feel like it's something that should be thought about. It's something that should be in the front of your mind, so that when you do have people that you're interested in, you think of actually asking questions that mean something to you. Like, if you're really serious about wanting to be in a relationship with someone, why not have deep conversations? Things be so shallow, and it's not getting to the place where you need it to go in order for you to truly know. I feel like the only time it stays so shallow is when people don't have really real intentions on being in a long-term relationship. I feel like that's when it stays like shallow, or when someone doesn't want to answer those types of questions. That means that they don't want you to get close to them. They don't feel comfortable with you for whatever reason, or they just are looking at you as an object. They're not thinking about the same thing you're thinking about if you're thinking about long-term relationship. That's why I feel like those are the questions that need to be said in the beginning, because then Like, so are you interested in a long-term relationship or a short-term? Are you serious about a relationship, or you in your play mode? You just want to play the field, That's a simple question that can be answered very quickly. And it will give you a lot of information. It'll give you what you need, because then is this person they could be a friend, but if they are, I just heard friends with benefits, if you down with that. Like, maybe some of you, that's fine. But for those who that's not okay, those are the questions or at least one of the questions that you would want to ask if you want to be serious with a person and you want to stop getting your heart broken. I feel like the main reason why so many individuals get their heart what? Excuse me. I had a thought while I was talking and it didn't come out right, but I think one of the reasons why so many people get their heart broken is because they don't ask enough questions. They're not even talking about anything. You got to get to a place of substance. I need to be able to talk to someone from an intellectual standpoint. If I can't, I can't do that. I can't, because the way that my mind works, it's not gonna work. I know myself, so I'm not even gonna play myself like that. You know, I'm not gonna do that. So this message is just, I feel like it's a message of honesty to self and protection for your future self. This is a message of love and protection to self. And maybe even the other person as well. Because when things go wrong, many times it could be for both of the people. Not just one. It's usually like it ends up trickling down in some way into both lives in its own way, you know. So yeah, that's the message. So yeah, you're attractive. You look fine. You look good. And you're gonna have everybody like, hey, yo, hey, hey, yo, hey. And then you're gonna have to say yay or nay. What you gonna say? What are your qualifiers? What makes a person a good one for you? Do you know? Or you don't know? If you don't know, write it. Start writing. What do you want? What do you want? Right? What is important to you? And stick to it. And I feel like you don't have to be extra rigid all the time, because if you meet someone and one thing is missing on your little list, don't get all anal about it, you know. Don't get too crazy, because you don't want a good person to pass you by if it's a possible match for you. I heard good matchmaking for great earth shaking. That's what I heard. So you take that for what it sounds like to you. So that's it for this message. I hope it did something for you. Okay? Much love to you. I'll see you in the next reading.